first. He has declared it, so it is so. Hello, folks, and welcome to TrampCast episode 75. This is, as I said, episode 75. We will be discussing the week ending June the 29th, 2025. Tina! Shush! As you can see, my glasses are smashed and broken and falling all over the place. Only got one arm on them, there's no arm this side. So, the channel is Delta Mike Down and Out in Torrevieja. Delta Mike, that's me. Or at least it's a character I play on the internet. Down and Out, homeless, hobo, a tramp, a vagrant, an indigent person, a person of no fixed abode, some might say a bum, someone who sleeps rough, or on the streets, or in my case, in a field. This is TrampCast, where we discuss the successes, the failures, and the other happenings in my life as a tramp. In a moment, we will begin with the numbers round, where we discuss some facts about the episode number. This is episode 75, therefore a few facts related to the number 75. These glasses are going to be annoying. After the numbers round, we'll look at the thank yous for the week in question, and then any themes for the week, and then we'll go through the week's events. How are you guys all doing? Everyone okay? Nobody else out there with glasses that have been broken when they've fallen flat on their face? Oh, select live chat, folks. You want to select live chat rather than top chat. You want to see all the messages, not the filtered messages. I have some other similar notes on a similar vein. Thumbs up if you haven't already, folks. Subscribe if you've seen 3 or 4 of my videos and you think you like me and want to see what's happening. Or if you're one of the haters, then also, subscribe. You wouldn't want to miss one of the a video by the guy you hate so much. There is a donate option, people, in the top of the fixed at the top of the chat. Only if you want to, only if you've got it. Bottom left corner of the player, you want to see the word live. If you join late, you might be starting an hour behind, and if you comment, your comment might be out of context and I might have no clue what you're talking about, which is more common than you think anyway. Regardless of whether you're on time or not, I can lose context quite easily. Yeah, so if you're here live now, you want to be in chat. If you're watching this as a video on demand, if you're watching this just as a video another time, chat replay, live chat replay. It's the 2 speech bubbles, one behind the other. I'll be responding to people in chat. I try and read out their messages, but sometimes I just respond, and you're better off actually having the chat visible so that you can play along at home, as it were. Okay, let me have a quick look in chat and just check that, see who's here, and say hello to everybody. As I said, my friend Ismo, Ismo Finlandia is here. Farmer is here. Hello, Farmer. Sativa breeder, that's Martin. Martin's in the house. Scrolling. Karen's here. But as I understand things, she's watching tennis. She'll probably be in and out. I think is it the Wimbledon finals? I'm not sure. I don't know anything about Wimbledon. I don't know whether we're at the end of the second week or the first. Hello, Hannah. Oh, Hannah says hello, Mike. Oh, I'm struggling to see, guys. I'm struggling to see. What does that say? Which Simp City? Are you AI? I am. Yeah. I'm the best goddamn AI they ever invented. tried to find him, there was nobody there. AI. You're losing me, mate. Mike, are you doing YouTube interface assistance now? No, I'm on the phone. I'm in the YouTube app, just broadcasting straight out. I can't switch apps. I can't go into other interfaces. I've got nothing available. Karen confirms, yes, it's the finals. That's how little I know about these things. Johnny Gringo says, best wishes from Bonnie, Scotland. Right back at you, Johnny Gringo. And okay, folks, I'm just going to guzzle down. If you were on the stream last night, if you were on the Hangout stream, you'll have seen that a guy called George brought me some food yesterday. We came back today. He's leaving the country, but he managed to squeeze in a quick visit before he leaves, and he's brought me about 50 litres of water, I think it is. 10 5-litre bottles. So thank you to George and his wife, whose name I've forgotten again already. It was short. It began with J. No, it's gone. Sorry. But I do appear to be somewhat dehydrated, as well as having glasses that are literally falling apart. There we go. Let me scroll and see what was just added while I was. Oh, you were joking. Fam, I was joking about. Okay, I see what you did. No, it wasn't George and Jill. I'm going to go with Jill. She could be a J, a G or a J, couldn't she? Okay, folks, let's begin. As I said, this is episode 75 of TrampCast, so some facts about the number 75. I can't see the screen. The number 75 is a composite number, i.e. it's not a prime or a semi-prime. It has multiple divisors. In this case, the divisors are 1, 3, 5, 15, 25 and 75 itself. It is defined as a Keith number. We've had a couple of these in the past. A Keith number is where you take the digits of the number and you begin like a Fibonacci process. So you add the two together, create the third, add the second and third and fourth, and away you go. So in this case, you would add 7 and 5 to get 12, 5 and 12 to get 17, 17 and 29 to get 46, 29 and 46 to get 75. And that's the other fact. The number has to appear, the qualifying factor is the number has to appear in the sequence. So you start with the 7 and 5 from 75, do the Fibonacci type process, and the number 75 has to be in the list. And it does indeed occur, so it qualifies as a Keith number. Okay, there were very few facts about the number 75, folks, and rather than just cheat and be lazy and just go with 1975, I went with 75 BC. I thought that might be an interesting year. Now, this was the year Julius Caesar was kidnapped by pirates while on his way to study at Rhodes. He was ransomed and later pursued the pirates and had them all crucified. Nice. They knew how to deal with crime back in those days. They knew how to deal with crime back then. It's also the year of the Third Servile War. Well, the Third Servile War was ongoing. This is a slave uprising against the Romans. Many battles and over the years either side as well. But the war was well ongoing at that point. There's also, oh, I think I've miswritten this. I don't know if this is Silurian or Satorian. I'm going to go with Satorian War in Roman Spain. Rome versus Quintus Sertorius. Yeah, it was Sertorian. Quintus Sertorius was the general on the opposing side in Roman-occupied Spain. And the same year is considered by scholars to be the beginning of the golden age of Latin literature, with many fine works starting to appear around that time. Finally, and with a few sub-facts, we always have one, folks, we always have one. Atomic number 75 is rhenium, with the symbol Re, named after the River Rhine in Germany, based on the German spelling of Rhine. A silver grey heavy metal, really rare, 1 parts per billion, one of the rare in the Earth's crust, one of the rarest elements in the Earth's crust. Mainly obtained as a byproduct of the extraction of molybdenum that we covered a few weeks ago, and also during copper ore recovery. Extensively used in nickel-based superalloys, used in combustion chambers for turbines of jet engines. It's really, its main use is in jet engines. Combustion chambers, turbine blades, and exhaust nozzles of jet engines. The jet engine is the single largest use of rhenium. Okay, folks, those were some facts. Not necessarily directly related to number 75 in all instances, but you got to take your facts where you can get them sometimes, don't you? Gonna have to have another little drink of water. I thought filling a 2-litre pot bottle would be enough, and I've got nothing left hardly. Might have to refill it. Really not a fan of these lids that stay attached. But the European Union decided, and therefore it is. Let me have a quick catch up in chat, see what's happening. Scrolling back to see how far. Somebody out there is determined to believe that I'm AI. That's okay. Okay, I'm back where I was. I'm moving forward through the list now. Oh yeah, Ismo's in northern Finland, near the Arctic Circle. It doesn't get dark. That was Sativa Breeder saying maybe reality is holographic and we're all just an AI projection. Some serious scientists believe this may be the case. Yeah, we've known each other a long time, Ismo. Over 8 years, yeah. Yeah. Farmer. Real cherry pie is the most rare crust around me now. Okay. Okay. I've caught up with chat. Then I can begin. Okay, folks. Thumbs up if you haven't already, though, eh? Why not? Next up is the Thankyous. And this is for the week ending June the 29th. So it's a few weeks ago, but now. Let's have a look. My friend Anthony sent a €10 during TrampCast Hangout 19. And Bella sent me a little bit of money as well. So thank you to Anthony and to Bella for sending money during Hangout 19. Oh, this was the one. Okay, this was the week after I'd done a TrampCast. I was sat here, and a guy, a young lad, well, a young man was walking past, and he stopped. He went past, came back, looked up the path, and kind of caught my eye. And I thought, oh, here we go, trouble. And I went to meet him. Tina was going daft, obviously, and I turned around and gave me some money. 10 euros, I think it was, as he was walking by. This is, yeah, he was the one that, I think I've discussed this somewhere else, maybe in one of the TrampCast Hangouts. He's the one that says, look, you're an old man, you shouldn't be living like this, here, have some cash, and if ever I'm walking by and you need anything, let me know. So that was nice. It's nice to know that the younger generation look after us old folk. I need to move my pen slightly and it won't move. Keep losing pens at the minute, folks. Usually in bed. I've lost 2 and I just can't find them. What else we got? That was Timoteo who was walking past and gave me the money. Got to thank Anthony this same week. My friend Anthony kept bringing me breakfasts and breakfast sandwiches or a paper plate with a cooked breakfast on, wrapped in tin foil. He also brought me water and beer, and that's, as you know, water's necessary, but the beer's appreciated. So thank you, Anthony. Thank you. My friend Colleen as well brought me paper and came round for a visit. She's an older lady who often brings Tina bones or chicken carcasses and things, and she brings me a newspaper most weeks. The one of the free English language newspapers. Get away, flies. What have we got here? Oh, okay, this was the first week that a new guy entered the scene. A lad called Sean. Hello, Sean, if you're out there. Sean came and visited. Let me see. Yeah, he came, brought cold beer, and we sat and chatted for a couple of hours out in the sun. That was the one where I lobstered because I sat out in the sun, you know, like facing the sun, I think, and on my arms as well. Yeah. What does that one say? Anthony came again as well later that week with more breakfast butters and beers, and oh, that was the one, Barry from Scottish couple in Spain. That was Barry came around. He brought me a litre of cold beer on Sunday lunch, and Joby paid a visit. The English guy who used to live in the field with me. Joby came around this particular week and gave me a new head torch and a USB pen drive, thumb drive, whatever you want to call them. So thank you to Barry, Scottish couple in Spain, and thank you to Joby. Yeah, because this, folks, that was the day. This was incredible. Sunday lunch, and Anthony pulls up, and before he's got out of his car and got into the camp, Barry's arrived and parked at the bottom, and I bring them in and I get them. I'm starting to get them seated, and before I've even got them sat down, someone's coming through the field on his bike, and I thought it was just some bloke through the field. I didn't recognise it, but it was Joby. So all 3 of them arrived independently. Nothing was arranged with anybody to come around, but all 3 arrived literally within 2 minutes of each other. That was bizarre. So yeah, I've found myself now. I know what week we're doing. I know what week we're talking about. So those were the thank yous for the week. Thank you to each and every one of those people. Let me name them again. It's Anthony multiple times, Bella, Timoteo, Colleen, Barry, and Joby. That's to name everyone. Oh, and Sean. Sorry, I missed you. Oh, there was another one as well. There you go. I misread that before. There was a young lad called Elias. When I was sat here talking with Sean, I think it was, and somebody walked close by the camp on the wrong side, on the other side of this hedge, and Tina went daft, and I heard a voice say, "Relax, I'm a friend." And I thought, "Oh, you bloody not!" I thought it was one of the kids that throw stones, kind of thing. But no, it was a young guy, not a kid. I'm not a kid, but you know, early 20s, whatever. But he gave me a cold beer. He'd walked through and given a cold beer. So it's a good job I stopped Tina from eating him. So thank you to Elias as well. I thought I forgot to I misread something while I was reading my list, pal. Sorry. Okay, folks, those are the thank yous for the week ending Sunday, June the 29th, 2025. Oh, let me do this. We haven't done this yet, have we? You gotta have your traditions, folks. You gotta have your traditions. Oh, I can't see whether she's on screen. I think she's there. Look, she was just under the. She was under the trees, under the bushes, but she's decided to bum shuffle this way a little bit. Hey, babe. Hey. There's Tina anyway. Gotta have your traditions. Let me just have a quick look in chat, see what I'm missing. How far back do I have to go? Lots of flies. Okay, there was Karen asking Isma when he's back in the country. Farmer's asking, are my bills holographic? Can I pay with a holographic $100 bill? If the universe is holographic, then yes, your bills are holographic. Don't judge a book by its cover. What was that? Was that Young Lads, maybe? I'm not sure. Yeah, northern Finland's got similar weather to Torrevieja at the minute, roughly 30 degrees C. We're a little above, I think it's a couple of degrees under, but yeah. Beer is water. High percentage. About 95%. Everything that's not, more or less everything that's not alcohol is water. A little bit of sugar, a little bit of carbohydrate left in there. People are saying hello. Karen says hello, Tina. Auntie Karen, she says hello, Tina. Yeah, she does. Where am I here? Oh, chat disappeared on me again. How old is your dog? Asked Hannah. Is that Hannah? Yeah. The dog, Tina, is about 9. There's no precise... Yeah, when I got her, I was given like a range of ages that she might be. But it was a fairly tight range. It was between 8 and 10 months old, I think they said. So we settled on April the 1st as her birthday. And she's 9 at the minute. At the start of the year, I didn't think we were going to get this far with her. Her back legs have given up. And she seemed to be deteriorating. And I honestly thought that by March or April she would have gone. But she seems fine. She's hanging in here. Hey babe. I've just taken her for a walk just before TrampCast started. There's a belt on the floor over here, if you give me a second. Just by that brick, there's a belt on the floor, slightly elasticated. I sling that under her stomach and pick the back end up. Carry the back end and take her as far as I can carry her. But when I can carry her no more, that's time to turn around and bring her back. These glasses, folks, these glasses. I do have some somewhere that are like they're also a reading glass, but they're also sunglasses. But I've tried using them in this situation before, and I literally can't see the screen when I wear them. They look really cool. There's one of my best photographs is of me wearing them. They look super cool, but they're just useless for reading out of in sunny weather, because the combination of not being able to see the screen well because of the glare from the sun, and then the darkness of the glasses gets in the way. Okay, folks, let's continue. Episode 75 of TrampCast, themes for the week. Well, now, procrastination. If you remember back a few weeks ago, I'll tell you about it in a second. Procrastination, gratitude, and the heat. So we'll start with procrastination. This was just after I'd received papers from the court, basically telling me my sentence for whatever crime they found me guilty of when they've had a trial and forgot to invite me. And to be fair, I'm still sat on the papers. I daren't look at them, I daren't read them. For all I know, they say report to prison next week. Yeah. Gratitude. Well, as you've just heard from the long list of thank yous I've just given, lots of people helping in lots of ways. Which Simp City? I don't get what the fuck you're on about, mate, and I'm getting a bit tired of it. Last warning. Where was I, folks? Gratitude. A long list of thank yous I've just given. The number of breakfasts that Anthony brought me while he was over here. My friend Bella sending money that I don't think she's really got to spare. And people just walking past, like Timoteo, who is of, I think he said of Greek extraction. So I would read that as like a Timothy, but with a Greek spin. People just walking past, donating. My friend Colleen bringing me newspapers. People bringing me water and beer and breakfasts. I can't thank people enough. The food donations that arrived, the people who arrived with shopping bags of food. George today with 50 litres of water. Mate, other people come here and I'm here. I don't know where you've been, but you didn't come here. There's a big fuck off tent. Give me a second. Telling me that there's no fucking tent here. The fuck kind of retard are you? The tent's here, it's been here. Have I got the, it's facing me, give me a second. Oh, I can't see what I'm doing. Right, we're pointing that way. There's a big fuck off tent in a big fuck off field, and you think it's AI? There's the Repsol garage. Here's me and my tent, solar panel, cool box, my mess in the field. AI that, you fucker. You haven't been here, mate. Don't know where the fuck you think you've been, but you haven't been here. If you do come here, I'll probably rip your fucking head off now. Now get to fuck, you're gone. Calling me a fucking liar. Gone. As soon as I can get the fucking app to do its thing. Remove. Oh no, I don't want to just remove the message, I want to remove the asshole. Hide user on this channel, gone forever, black hold him. Dickweeds. Fucking dickweeds. I've been there, there's nobody there, it's AI, it's bullshit, he's a liar. Okay folks, on with the show. Where was I? I was talking about themes, was I? Gratitude for nice people. The ones that don't call me a liar. I mean, there's half a dozen people here in chat that have been here to the field. Okay, other themes for the week. The heat. This was back end of June. So heat's beginning to build and get crazy. We're in a heat wave. So yeah. Okay, let's go back to chat and see what the nice people are saying. Okay, beer is water. I saw that one. How old is your dog? Let's work forward from there. That guy's gone. Okay. Sativa Breeder Martin says, Mike, don't alter the format of the show reacting to this person. Don't take the bait. Oh, I took the bait, but he's gone. He's history. Don't listen to those losers. You see, here we go. There's Josie. Josie's been here to the field. Karen's been here. Ismo's been here. There's probably others in the chat that have been here. That guy with the witch, what was his name? I can't even read. Witch City. Declared that I'm AI and that he's been to the field and there's no tent here and that I'm a con man and it's all bullshit. I'm shaking now, folks, with anger. I want him to come down. I won't be very nice to him, but I want him to come down. I can't get these glasses to balance properly, folks. That's close, but not quite. Yeah, I've just blocked. I've removed him. When we play this back tomorrow, people won't know what we're talking about because he won't be in the. His messages won't even show up in the chat replay. He'll never be seen again on the site. He's blocked entirely. Yeah, well, you know. Some people want a reaction and sometimes they'll get one. It might not be the reaction they want though. Okay, folks. How far in are we? We're half an hour in. Shall we begin? So, this is episode 75 of TrampCast. We're dealing with the week ending Sunday, June the 29th, 2025. No boxing, Mike. You broke a pair of glasses already. Yeah, I fell flat on my face onto the mattress. I was attacked by the tent. Okay. So, the week ending Sunday, June the 29th, 2025. So let's step back to 1 week earlier, after TrampCast 74 on Sunday, June the 22nd. I sat at the table just enjoying the cool breeze after TrampCast and just relaxing. And this was when the lad Timoteo walked past. And Tina backed and I looked and I thought, oh, here's trouble. And he'd gone past and then he kind of came back and he didn't exactly start to walk up the path, but he kind of hovered at the edge of the path there, at the edge of the road. And I thought, yeah, well, here we go. I got talking to him, and he started with Spanish, and then we settled on English as a language that we could both cope with, mainly because it's the only language I can cope with. And yeah, he ended up giving me some money. So thank you, Timoteo. Now I turned the cool box on, and accidentally left it going too long. Left it going longer than I intended. So I ran the power down to 73% without meaning to. Tina girl, it's okay. It's just people going past. It's okay. Yeah. You got flies on your nose, darling. Tina, you got flies on your nose. It's okay, babe. Tina, it's okay. Just peoples. Just peoples. Okay, folks, where am I? Yeah, run the power down to 73% just by putting it on, meaning to put it on for a quarter of an hour and leaving it on for like an hour instead. Oh, that's another one gone. Hello, Sarah. Goodbye, Sarah. Gone. She posted a comment yesterday, something along the lines of, I can smell him through the phone. The channel got a lot of attention. You'll see when we get to the Sunday of the week that we're covering. But basically, I got interviewed on another channel. We picked up 200 new subscribers as a result. But I got so much negativity, you know. I'm not messing. They just go. I used to have my principle was free speech and discuss and argue and debate with people. But I watch Asmongold, and he just has no truck with this shit. He just bans people. Just delete them. Just evaporate them from your universe. They're just gone, never to be seen again. Another one that when we play it back tomorrow, they just won't even be. They won't even be there. Okay. So did the usual stuff after the Sunday thing. I walked Tina and what have you, and I'm prepared to do a TrampCast hangout Sunday night. I like to do a TrampCast hangout with you guys, with the nice ones, not with the nasty ones. But so we started TrampCast hangout 19 at 10:30, and it was only a short one. We only went for 2.5 hours. I think I came over tired all of a sudden. I was yawning. And yeah, and something went wrong or weird with YouTube, where I don't think notifications went out much in advance of the show starting, so people were just drifting in low numbers and late. I got tired, and so we called it. It was good for what it was, for the 2.5 hours that it was. But if you've been to many of the hangouts, they can often go for 4.5, 5 or 6 hours, even though they're starting at 10:30 at night. So yeah. So that was Sunday into Monday morning. 6 a.m. dog walk with her ladyship here. Hey babe, we go walkies at 6 in the morning. We do often. Which is just 6 o'clock is just after light. Spain being kind of quite far south, it's not like 4 in the morning that it gets light. It's kind of 5:36ish at the earliest. So yeah. Now by 8 o'clock I'd got the solar panels set out and the EcoFlow powered up and what have you. But overnight we'd run it down to less than 30%. Which at this time was the lowest I'd gone in normal use. Obviously, there's been the odd time that I put something on and fallen asleep and woken up with the EcoFlow on nothing. But in normal use, because we'd run it down to 73 by leaving the cool box on, and then doing the TrampCast hangout in the night. And that maybe I'd put the fan on and stuff a bit. Yeah, I got a note here. Look, I'd overrun the cool box and then I'd put the fan on and accidentally left. I'd meant to put the fan on for 5 or 10 minutes, and I'd accidentally left it on for over an hour, and we just ran the EcoFlow down lower than intended. But it's not a problem. It's Spain, it's summer. You get your solar panel out and connect the EcoFlow, and by noon you're up above 85% and headed for 100. Even though you're using the fan and cool box again all morning. It's not a problem in summer. But it's hot. It's getting Can I even read any of that? Do you know what? Maybe if I had a month of just of forcing myself to just read it without the glasses, I probably could do that over time. I think my eyes have just become lazy. I don't think I'm actually as blind as I think I am. Okay, it's getting hot. And I take a look at Tina's paws and her nails are all getting long because she's not walking, because I'm carrying her around kind of thing. So I decide to have a go at cutting her nails. And for the first time ever, she lets me. She's always been a real battler over the nails issue. She's never, even the vet, I paid the vet to cut them once, and I ended up doing most of the work. So she's usually a real battle. Now she objected on one. I had to kind of lay on top of her a little bit and grab to do the one paw, but because she's not using her back legs, the paws are getting the nails, the claws are getting longer. So I decided action was needed, even though I haven't got any proper nail clippers for dogs. I just used mine. And I only took the ends off, and they're rounded off again, and I'll have another go in maybe this week, and just clip a little bit more off. Take them off, make them square, and then over time they'll round off as she walks. The front end walks obviously, but the back end just doesn't. But it is dragging on the floor a little bit, aren't you, babe? Daddy has to carry his girl. So yeah, it was the first time though that she let me. She literally just lay there and let me do the back paws. She objected a little bit on the front, but we made it work anyway. We made it happen. Now, this Monday evening, this was the one where something hit the tent at 11:30, and I thought it was the kids back throwing stones, but it wasn't. I came outside. I ran outside, thinking trouble, and as soon as I opened the door, I could smell smoke. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then some fireworks start going off around, and I go back inside and think that's a bit weird. Let it go, you know. But I'm thinking maybe there's a fire somewhere nearby. What's going on? Monday night into Tuesday morning, so midnight between the Monday and the Tuesday. Exactly on midnight, fireworks that way, fireworks that way, fireworks that way, like proper big fucking full-on display kind of things. And I'm like, I got no clue. I've got no idea what was going on. So I asked Google, and Google's AI told me. I just said, why are there fireworks in Torrevieja now? And it came back and said, oh, it's San Juan, which is St. John the Baptist apparently. That's the night where they set bonfires on the beaches, and then they jump through the flames or run through the ashes or whatever, and it's the midpoint of the year kind of thing. It's a out with the old, in with the new. It's a rebirth, restart kind of thing that they do in Spain. And I'd known about this before, but I always forget. It's a couple of days after the equinox, so this would have been the 23rd probably. Yeah, there or thereabouts. So yeah, that's what that was at midnight, and that's why I could smell burning everywhere. You know, it wasn't a fire somewhere; it was a fire everywhere on all the beaches. And then the organised fireworks displays. So into Tuesday morning, and I've been awake for hours and hours and hours. It's one of those ones where I'm just waiting for the day to get going. Just lay there some days. Sometimes I'll fall asleep and wake up at like 2 in the morning, and I'm still awake at 6, and I'm still awake at 7, and you're just waiting for, interminable sometimes, really is. 740, solar out, EcoFlow's on 80%, put the cool box on. So we're already nearly full, it's not going to be a problem. And by 20 past 10, we're up to 95%, we're there or thereabouts, and that's despite having the fan on max all morning. Okay, I couldn't read my own handwriting there. Put all my batteries onto charge. So if you were watching the TrampCast last night, you'll see that I had a minor issue where all my lights were discharged. I didn't realise that that my batteries were low and that the lantern wasn't charged and things. So every second or third day, I'll put everything onto charge. So this was one of those days, get everything done. Today's one of those days as well. I've got all the batteries needing to charge, except my phone. Oh, I've done it again, folks, waving my hand in front of the... I've unplugged this by accident. My phone was on 20 odd percent, and so I've had to, yeah, I'm on 23% now. I've had to bring the EcoFlow over. I've had to unplug it from the panel and bring it over here, just to power my phone and get me through this, get me through the TrampCast. You won't believe it, but I cleaned this table the other day, cleaned everything off it. Let's have a... We'll get to the end of Tuesday and I'll have a little catch up with chat, see what I'm missing. Okay, 10:50, way too hot inside the tent. So I had to do the spray bottle thing. I'm literally spraying myself with water to do the evaporative cooling. This is bad, isn't it? I can't make this part balance. Oh well, it is what it is. Okay. Typical boring day, just inside, trying to just watch videos. I said last night, my best days in summer are to snooze all day, all afternoon. Just get through the day and enjoy the nights, enjoy the cool evenings and the cooler air at night. So sleep through the day if I can, which I must have done here. But I've done something wrong. I've got the fan on and I've had the cool box on and I've snoozed. And late afternoon, I've got the EcoFlow below 50% as night starts to kind of approach. So I did what I call chasing the sun, which is where, if you look over here, if you can see, you see the solar panel resting on top of the cool box next to the blue ball there. I'll move the solar panel over to the sun lounger, facing back the other way, facing off to the left, and take the EcoFlow over there and try and catch an extra 10 or 20 percentage points on the EcoFlow before the sun goes. So that's what I did this night, or this late evening. But unfortunately, even though I've done that, there's no sun. It clouds over on the horizon that way, and we finished the day really. We got up a little bit. We got up to 66 at sunset, but yeah, it wasn't great. We gained a little bit, but not much. So that's the end of Tuesday. That's my notes for Tuesday. Let me have a little break. Gonna grab water, I think, first, rather than beer. The beer's warm, like almost hot warm. Let's catch up with chat. Okay, there was Sarah Murray. She's history. Farmer was asking whether he's never seen her before. Has she posted before? I don't think she's ever been in chat. It was a comment on a when I did the video yesterday saying I was going to do a live stream in the afternoon. I know it got postponed and everything, but I think she commented later on one of those, like, "Ooh, I can smell him through the phone." Josie. Martin says, I've moderated many channels. Zero tolerance is the way. I think so. I used to have a free will kind of ethos, not free will, free speech ethos, you know, anything goes, but they become disruptive. They'll post 5, 10, 20 times in succession if you just let them. So, no, just... yeah, they're broken all over. I fell. The glasses are broken. I fell flat. I landed literally on the glasses. I landed and they crunched on the bridge of my nose and broke both sides all over the place. The lens falls out. If I look down, the lenses fall out. I have to rebuild them. It's not good, but they'll do for now. I've never seen any markings for power on them. No. Clippers needed, yes. For the hair. Is that where you're going? I've only just done the beard. I left the big bushy moustache on purpose. No, I wasn't watching the fireworks. Tina quakes and shakes and dribbles and drools. I had to cuddle my girl. I have to reassure my girl when there's fireworks going off. She actually tries to get right into a corner of the tent, and then she wants to back right into it. So she's pushing her ass right into the corner, and it's fabric. It will keep going back. As long as you keep pushing it, it'll keep going backwards and backwards until it snaps. So I've got to stop her from pushing too hard into the corner. Otherwise damage will be done. So I've just about got her now to the point where when she gets frightened, she'll come to me rather than into the corner and push and do damage. She knows I'll stop her if she does that, so she just comes to me for a firm, secure cuddle. Don't you, babe? Come to Daddy for a cuddle when there's fireworks. Yeah, you do. As long as you're not smelling toast burning. When the firework hit I think it's a firework that had hit the tent. That's my assumption for what that kind of bang was that night, for the bump on the tent, like the remnant of a rocket or something. Fortunately, it was cool by the time it hit. Not smelling toast, that's a stroke, isn't it, when you smell toast? There was a day, I think it was this last week, so not the week we're talking about, but I'm lying in bed at like 6 o'clock in the morning. It's just starting to get light out, but I've not seen that yet. I'm asleep, and you know when you can smell burning, and it's not unpleasant to begin with. It's a lot just like cooking, but just gone a little bit far. And then it starts to get quite acrid. And I'm thinking to myself, I haven't got any neighbours. There's nobody cooking nearby. And I wake up, and I can smell thick, acrid smoke. So I'm racing around the tent, checking it's not me. You know, checking it's not the tent that's on fire. Remember, I've got this broken cable now, and broken cables with exposed contacts can be dangerous. You can get short circuits and what have you. Although logically thinking about it, a solar panel isn't going to have any current flowing through it while it's dark or not quite light yet. But the fact I was smelling this smoke in my sleep, and then I was thinking, neighbour must be cooking, and then I'm thinking, there is no neighbour, and then I'm running around, and I come outside, and the whole of town is thick with smoke, and I thought there must be a fire like nearby. And I thought it's really strange that I couldn't hear any fire engines. If there was a fire in town, you'd expect to be hearing a cavalcade of fire engines going past. Nothing. And half an hour later, still nothing. So I'm on Twitter and I'm asking, like thick acrid smoke in the whole of Torrevieja, what's going on? And nobody knew. And it was about 2 hours later, someone said that there was a forest fire, like fucking, as far as I can gather, like hundreds of miles that way. People 20 kilometers, 30 kilometers that way were responding to my tweet saying, yeah, it's here as well. So the wind was coming from the north. So somewhere way north, there was a wildfire or forest fire, whatever you want to call them, that had blown, all the smoke had blown this way. But that was quite frightening. That realization, that lying there, kind of enjoying the smell to begin with, and then it becoming stronger, and then rationality kind of kicking in, and thought telling me that, hold on, I haven't got neighbours, I shouldn't be able to smell anybody's cooking or barbecuing or whatever. And that sudden jolt of awake, straight out of bed and running around the tent, running around the inside, checking that there's nothing there, and then coming on the outside and checking that there's nothing here, checking it wasn't in this field, but then seeing the smog kind of hover over, or the smoke, I get hover over the whole of Torrevieja. It's quite frightening for a second or three. Let's join you back in the chat, and then we'll resume in a moment. You're behind. Yeah. I'm gonna move forward quickly. Josie will be back in 8 weeks. Okay. Karen's counting down the days as well. "29 days and 1 hour. Rob asks, how far is it to the sea? It's about 150 meters that way. If I show you this, okay, through that gap, I don't know if you can see the stone kind of, where are we? Over there. That's more or less a cliff top, just beyond that. It's kind of not too steep a cliff, you can kind of more or less almost walk down it. Except my dog can't walk, so we don't go anywhere. Hardly get to leave this field. Unless kids are throwing stones and I'm gonna chase the little buggers. I think Karen's got an app that I think it's the airline where she buys the tickets. It gives her a countdown. She's got a digital countdown of how many hours, minutes, and seconds to until her flight. Oh, clippers for Tina's claws. Yeah, no, I haven't got proper ones, so I'd improvise. What do you do in this situation? You improvise, you make do, you adapt and overcome. Is that the US Marine Corps? Improvise, adapt and overcome. Okay, so Farmer has a similar experience of smelling the smoke. He thought it was neighbours, hot and rainy, but hold on. He was in Florida. No, the fire was in Florida, and he's in Canada. That's quite a distance between the two. Josie's coming over from the 7th of September to the 9th of October. Just over a month. Nice. Frankie says, how do you not get totally down in the situation you're in? I hope things get better. Thank you. How do you not get totally down? I do sometimes. I've just had a fortnight or so, 2 maybe 3 weeks, where I've hardly posted any videos, didn't do the live streams, which is why we're behind. We're covering the week ending June the 29th, and today is it the 13th? So we're a good couple of weeks behind. Because I got down. Because when I'm down, I don't do videos, I don't do the live streams as much. I'll be honest, I wasn't in that much of a mood to do it today. If these notes had not been already written, if my notes weren't already done, I just had to do the numbers section today. Everything else was already done from the other week. If that had not been done, I wouldn't have been sat here now. I wouldn't have got those all written out today and done. I wasn't in the mood. But it was already 3/4 done, and so just got on with it. I enjoy, once I'm sat here with you guys, I enjoy the chat, I enjoy talking with you. It's something to do. It gets me out of the tent. I have a terrible tendency of just sitting in the tent and just putting up with the heat, even though it's like a sauna, rather than coming out here, putting the parasol up and sitting, you know, in a bit of shade. I step outside of the tent into the sun, and it's cooler outside than it is in, even in the sun, because the tent's an oven. But I can sit in there and watch videos and you know, whereas if I sit out here, it's more difficult. I wouldn't normally unhook the EcoFlow from the solar panel. I've only done that because you guys and the TrampCast. If I was just sat here on an afternoon, if I couldn't keep the phone powered and what have you, I'd be depressed. I'd be bored. So yeah, I do get depressed. It's not that, you know, how do you avoid getting depressed? I don't. I get depressed. I have my ups and downs like anybody else. We should all try and meet. Absolutely. Tarragona? Tarragona? Yeah, I don't really know where these places are. My Spanish geography is not great. You see, who was that? That was Farmer Fabrizio. Writing out the notes is necessary for doing this TrampCast, the proper TrampCast. The Hangouts, I can just wing it. Apparently, who knew? If you told me that I could just sit in front of a camera or sit in front of a phone and just talk for 4, 5, 6 hours, I wouldn't have believed you. I was the guy that always dodged when someone got a camera out, or you remember when people had the big video cameras. I was the guy who ducked out of the room and disappeared. I was the one that never wanted to be seen. Oh, I don't know whether I've told people this. I don't know whether I've told people. I think I've told this. As a kid, I had a couple. You go and look this up afterwards. Cherubism. Cherub as in the little angels, the fat little angels. Cherubism. Cherubism. Basically, the bones in the cheeks and the jaw can swell's not the right word. They grow. They overgrow. what are called, I think it's fibroid granuloma is a word I've picked up somewhere. And mine did that and was all uneven. When I first came on the internet, I looked this stuff up, and there was nothing on the internet about cherubism. Now, when you look it up, there's lots of information, but there aren't many people in the world with it. But I had this distended jaw and ugly face, and that caused me to always be very shy and self-conscious. Very shy, very self-conscious, and so all my life I've avoided cameras. There are no photographs of me as a kid, or very, very few, even in our collection. When the school had photographs done and they did the class picture, kids would literally return. So you got your pictures and you got the class picture, and you took it home, and there was like an invoice with it. And kids would literally bring back the class picture and say, Mum and Dad said they don't want it because of the ugly kid in the front row. So I was that guy. So ugly that people wouldn't keep the class photo. So, like I said, there are very few pictures of me. We don't have any. My family don't have many of me. I've got 0. Yeah. Very... Well, you're all right now. I kind of grew into it. I was always told it would happen, that I would grow into my face. But I also had an operation when I was 16. They went in under the, like, in front of your gum. They basically cut and also down the eye, lift the face kind of off the bone, and they shaved a load of bone away, and then let it settle back down. Now I'm told that while they did this operation, you see, I don't know whether this is a joke or not. I hear different stories. I'm told that they popped the eyes out of the way, pop them out and out of the way, so that they could do the work on shaving away on the cheekbones. Now, it's possible that this is a silly joke that surgeons do to kids, because some people tell me that your eyes can't come that far. But I've seen other things like, there was one where a basketball player sneezed or something and his eye literally popped out. Not out, but it came out of the socket. So I don't know. I've had contradictory. I'm not sure whether, because I was a 16-year-old kid, I don't know whether this was a joke or whether it was for real about the eyes. But I had that operation. When I go to a new dentist, they look in my mouth and they see this big scar running all along the front of the, inside the lip, but right up to your nose, and then all along the inside there's this big scar, and I see the look on their face. He looks better when I've done his hair. Yeah. I said the other day, it's 18 months since I even washed my hair. Now, that lassie was asking earlier about me washing. I wash, 2 or 3 times a week. But not the hair. So maybe that's what she was on about. I don't know. But she's gone now just for the rudeness of it. Anyway, how did we get on to talking about, me avoiding photographs and pictures and cameras? Yeah. Let me just check that I'm up to date with everybody here. Why is there not? Okay. I think these are the latest. Well, you're all right now. Well, thank you. I did get a nice comment saying how handsome I was yesterday as well in one of the videos. I assume it's a little old lady who's a little bit blind. Or maybe she just likes my Sam Elliott moustache. Where did we get to? We were on the end of Tuesday, weren't we, folks? We were on the end of Tuesday. The EcoFlow was on 66% at sunset. Okay, into Wednesday. Woke up feeling groggy. Obviously the question becomes, Hangover? Question mark? No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Claustrophobic heat already in the tent. I'd woken up a little bit late, and it was boiling hot in the tent already. Overnight, the EcoFlow is down to 35%, and 6:30. I've already got the panel out, but it's one of those nights where it just didn't cool down overnight. It was just stupid hot all night long. You know when you're like 3 o'clock in the morning and it's still 30 degrees? Yeah. And I think flies. I guess I should have mentioned flies as another theme for the week. The flies at the minute are ridiculous. And that means rather than leaving the doors open at night for ventilation, I'm having to keep them closed. Now one of them's a fly screen, so it does let, you know, a mosquito net kind of door. It does let some air circulate, but I'd say it blocks about 2/3. It's still a pretty solid door, really, unfortunately. Now what I like to do when I can is leave the bottom third open so that Tina can get in and out. If I think I was saying this last night, if I've mistimed the walk, so if I'm telling myself, oh, we'll go for a midnight walk, and let's say I fall asleep at 11:30, poor dog doesn't get a walk until 2 or 3 in the morning when I wake up. Well, if she really needs to go, it's best if she can just step out of the door and do what she has to do. But it is like a sauna. I've lost the list of things I've lost in this tent, and I've only been in it 3 months. The growing list of things that are lost. I've lost 2 pens this week in bed. Still haven't found them. Fuck it. I don't understand it. I lost a thermometer, and it was on the edge of the bed. I lost the cigarette lighter adapter that gives me 2 extra USB ports. Still haven't found that fucking thing. That's been lost for about 6 weeks now. I'm fairly sure that would have been in the bedroom as well. And there's nowhere for them to go. I don't understand. Anyway, let's carry on. Let's carry on. Okay. I've put the solar panels out at 6:30, ready, good and ready. Oh, okay. This is one. So I've walked Tina nice and early, and she didn't do anything. And then we've gone back in the tent, and before 9 o'clock, she's pooed 3 times out. She step out, poo, and I'll say, oh, why didn't you do it when we did the walk? But okay, fair enough, and I'll clean it up and bring her back inside. 3 times she's gone out, and why didn't she do it on the fucking walk? She's getting a bit bad like that. Getting a little bit out of the habit of doing it during the walk. A little bit too independent, the little madam is. Anyway, 9 a.m. Cloudy start to the day. I'm not really getting much in the way of solar power. 35 watts is the maximum I've seen at any one point. And we get the EcoFlow up from 35% up to 54 by kind of 10 o'clock-ish. But then we get a little sunny spell, and by 11 we're up to 80%, and we're on a roll. We're all going. I came outside and decided to try and tidy up the field a little bit, and I brought in a bag of clothes, of my original clothes that have been kind of just out under. I had a cover over a bunch of things that didn't fit back in the tent. I unpacked the bag and put everything out to kind of air in the sun, to air. Let the ozone and any ultraviolet we do get do its thing. And this t-shirt was one of them, actually. And all the t-shirts were somehow, they were a little bit crusty. They'd been in not flood, what's the word I'm looking for? When the last tent was falling apart and it was filling with rainwater. So I guess it is like a flood. Everything got wet and a little bit nasty, and then they've sat in a bag for a while. So some of them were a little bit crusty and nasty. But I put them out to air and what have you, and then I put one of them on at the end of the day. Still a little bit crunchy, a little bit crusty, but I figured me wearing it would soften it up. Clothes kind of clean themselves after a while, to a degree, up to an extent. Fuck off. Okay, 7 o'clock that night. This was a funny one. My phone cut out, lost connection, no internet access. And for a minute, I thought my phone renewal was due, but then I realised my phone renewal currently is always on a Sunday night. It's actually tonight. But my immediate reaction when it cut off was, oh, here we go. Do I owe the bar of money? But it wouldn't cut off on a Wednesday, and it wouldn't cut off at 7 p.m, which is what this did. Had 4 bars. It was signalling 5G, but nothing was coming through. So I did all the usual things that you do: reboot the phone off and on again, turn off mobile data, turn it back on again, all the things. Nothing. 20 minutes. I was a little bit panicky, but it came back on eventually. We get there in the end, folks. We get there in the end. Some temporary little outage. Eco flows on 85% when shadows from the tent cover the solar panel. I don't really like to start the night that low, so again, chase the sun, move the panel across, brought the eco flow out, and got topped up to 98%, which is good. That's where you want to be at the start of night. Especially on hot nights when you might want to use the fan and run the cool box and things. Now this is a Wednesday night, so scruff dog. But I'll be honest, I watched the first hour, but he's still building this bloody engine. And I don't know anything about engines, and I got a little bit bored. So I was stepping in and out of it, what can you do? I love the chat. I love everybody over there. I'm just not a petrol engine kind of guy. He's building this model. It's a working model engine, a miniature engine, but he's been doing it now for, I don't know, 8 weeks, 9 weeks. At this point, it would have been about 5 or 6 weeks. But same thing. But it's just not my topic, so I probably switched over to another YouTube channel, watched something for a while and fell asleep. So that's Wednesday night into Thursday, folks, into Thursday. Woke up 2 a.m. Tina's not in the tent. She's outside and she's barking. I don't know what she was barking at, but I walked her, but she did nothing. She did nothing. But then on the way back in, I found the pile that she'd already done. She's become too independent. She's not doing it when we do the walk. That's the whole purpose of the bloody walk. I'm literally, folks, I've got a belt around her waist, and I'm wrapping the belt, both ends, twice around my wrist, picking her entirely up off the ground at the back end, and walking, I don't know, maybe 100 meters when she really wants to go far. A little bit further occasionally. What she's doing most of the time, she's looking for some nice soft grass to chew on. But it's July in Spain, or at this point it was late June in Spain. And there is no soft, green, chewy grass to chew on. Not in the southeast of Spain down here. Hey babe, you run out of water? What have I got? Oh, I've got the 5 litre bottle here. Give us a second, folks. I've got to take care of her ladyship. Oh, careful with the parasol. Hey, babe. Hey babe, más agua para ti. ¿No? Más agua para ti. Come on then. Let's make sure it's on firm base. You've moved it, haven't you? There you go. I don't want to lose water. There you go. There you go, that's for you. Okay. Oh, it's all a bit precarious. Shuffle back in. Whoa. Oh, I've lost my parasol now. Hold on. Wait a minute now. There we go. I'm back. Oh, where was I? We were on Thursday. Oh yeah, I was saying about how she's getting independent and not doing it on the proper on the walks that are intended for it. But I'm finding piles. That's not safe. That's not right. Ah no, you got to be there. Nope. Stabilize your bugger. Stabilize. You're not going there yet. Not going there. Let's see if that works. Anyway, talk about dog poo. Let's go. Yeah, but I walked her. She didn't do anything. But then on the way back, I found this huge pile that she'd already bloody done. But it's quite away from the tent. She'd bum shuffled quite a way away to do this one. That's my worry. If I haven't got her tied up, see that there's one of the tent. Whoa, that's not secure at all. What am I going to do? I might have to move because I can't get the parasol in a place where it's secure and blocking the sun. I need to move the chair back around that way a bit. There we go. Hold on. Now I have to get back on camera. Sorry folks, it's all a bit of a kludge. What I was saying was there's a pole just outside the bedroom door, not the bedroom door, but the door nearest the bedroom. And I can fasten her, I can tie her to that. Tie her lead to that, and then she can go like 1.5 meters out or move around inside. But I can't fasten the door then, and I don't know. I like to give her a little bit more freedom in case she needs it, but it's awkward. Anyway, onwards. So I sat inside, watched. I got back inside, back inside the tent. Tina, just leave the flies alone, darling. I know they're annoying. Drank sangria. I've put here. Where'd that come from? Why have I got sangria? That's a what? Is this? Was this when Karen left? Karen sometimes gives me sangria when she's leaving. Are we back? Sorry folks, somebody just tried calling me. The phone call interrupts the stream. Let me check with chat. Do you have a holder for your parasol? No, I don't. I've got a brick on the floor that I'm just trying to press against. The brick's against the back leg of the chair, and the parasol's inside the arm of the chair, and the. It's all. I don't have a. But even if I had, if it was just upright, I wouldn't be able to position it because of where my kitchen stuff is and the table that I'm on. So it's probably best like this anyway. But sorry, we were interrupted by a phone call. I'll have to check back later to see who that was. I think it was a UK number, but it wasn't one that it didn't come up as recognised by anybody. Oh no, no, plus 48. Who's plus 48? Is that Norway? Plus 48. Not sure. Anyway, where am I? I'm fudging it. Okay, I'm watching video. I drank some sangria. Just yeah, even though it's the middle of the night. I put the fan on. Okay, I put the fan on and fell asleep. Okay. The EcoFlow was on 50%. Okay. Yeah. That's not good. That's not good. Now, 8 o'clock in the morning, I put the solar panel out and I got 0 watts. Now, it looked like the sun was above the tree to me. I don't know why I was getting 0. 0 didn't look right. I was sure that recently I'd been getting power even at 8:30 in the morning. Plus 48 is Poland. I don't know anybody in Poland. That's strange. Spam. Almost certainly spam. Okay, where am I? Okay, the panel's out. The sun appears to be shining on it, but it's giving me zeros. Normally we would be getting power by then, but no panic. By 9 o'clock we're 60 watts. You got to remember, we are now just after the summer solstice, and so days are going to start getting shorter. And well, you wouldn't expect that within the first week after that you'd be noticing the difference. So 8:30 used to get power and now doesn't. And it was straight away. That was a little bit strange, but no problem. 9 o'clock, 60 watts and climbing. Everything's fine with the world. But the day started quite windy. But by 10:15 it had dropped. No wind in sight. And I've written starting to bake in here. Obviously a hot day again. By 11 o'clock we're up to 92%, so I put the fan on and the cool box, try and keep food cool, or well, if not cool, at least stop it going off. And try and stop us from baking too much inside the tent. It does get crazy hot, folks. Once the sun's up properly, but by 10:30, 11, it's crazy in there. And by solar noon, which is 2 o'clock in Spain, by solar noon it's crazy hot. That's why anything that you don't want to get hot, you have to keep literally keep on the floor. If I have a can of beer in the afternoon and put it next to my bed, my bed is literally just 2 mattresses on the floor, one on top of the other, and a wooden frame that's just yay big. So I've got a plastic box next to me with a wooden chopping board on. That's my bedside table. Put a can on there in the afternoon and the beer will literally get hot. Not just warm, actually hot. Like burn the back of your throat hot. It's crazy. Okay, so the wind drops. Okay, so I put the fan and the cool box on at 11, and this is where my friend Anthony, Tina's Uncle Anthony, arrives, didn't he? Uncle Anthony, bringing breakfast butties and a case of cold beer. We sat and chatted for a while. I ate the breakfast butties, the sandwiches, and when he left, 15 minutes later, I can hear. I'm sat in the tent and I can hear a phone ringing, and it's not my phone. And I assume it's somebody on the track, somebody on the road walking past. But it carries on ringing and ringing, and I'm thinking, well, that's not right. So I come outside, I step outside, and I realise that it's here. It's and he's on that. Oh, you won't be able to see. Do you see the wooden chair behind me? No, not like that. You won't. Somewhere over there, there's a chair. Anyway, like a not wicker, but a bamboo thing. I don't know. I'm looking right at the chair, and I can't see it. It's the phone is wedged down the side like that. So I get the phone and I try and activate it, so I see who is. I've missed the call. There's no call anymore. I've missed the call, and it's past protected, so there's nothing I can do. I can't do anything. I can't find out who it is. I can't call anybody. I know it's Anthony's phone because he's just been sat there, but I can't call Anthony because his phone's in my hand. I haven't got anybody else in that family's number, so what do you do? Yes, Timony, this is TrampCast proper, the proper real TrampCast. Episode 75, we're discussing the week ending June the 29th. Sunday, June 29th, 2025. So, 3 Sundays ago. So yeah, he's left his phone here. And he's the only person in the family that I've got a number for. And obviously I can't call his phone. That doesn't make any sense. That wouldn't do anything. So I just have to wait until somebody calls back on to his phone. And you know, hope that it's either him or his wife or somebody. So yeah. 3 in the afternoon, Anthony calls. He called. There's a call on the phone, and I take it, and it's Anthony. And we arrange, and he comes back to get his phone in a little while. I'd just fallen asleep on the bed for my afternoon nap, just as he arrived. So yeah. Oh God, do I even mention this one? So okay, he gets his phone and off he goes, and all is well with the world. I've got one other note for this day, and I don't know whether to tell you it or not. One other. Go on. So, call of nature, 11 o'clock at night in the dark, off into the trees for a poo. You know, you got the feeling in the stomach, you're gonna have to go do it. Pants down, squat, holding position. Now let me just backtrack a little bit to when I first became homeless and was living in the park. Same situation. You got to handle it. These things have to be done. So squat and drop. And my fear early on was, where are the trousers? Where are they going to be positioned? Where's the output going? And how do you make sure that you're not messing your clothes? That was always the fear. The other fear was, I can't squat down for very long. I didn't have leg strength. It's not an exercise that you do normally. Now, obviously, over the months and years, I've become a lot better at squatting down because, you know, every couple of days it's got to be done. On this particular day, maybe dehydration is playing a part. It would not come out. It was stuck halfway out. And I was just left like squatting there for fucking 10 minutes. I was, guys, if you've been to the gym and you've got the bar on, if you do the squats with the barbell on, and you get the burning in your thighs and in your calves when the muscles start twitching with kind of pain and cramping up. Well, that was me just trying to have a poo. And I remember hearing war stories, old blokes talking about having to dig it out with a stick, and I was wondering what the fuck was happening. But in the end, it resolved itself. But it was awkward. It was bloody awkward, and it was bloody painful on the legs, squatting for that long. I just thought I'd share that little story with you. Those are the end of my notes for Thursday. I just finished up, cleaned up, disposed of the evidence, and got cleaned up and got back in the tent. Breathed a sigh of relief, I guess, and probably just went to sleep out of fucking relief that was done. I'll take a little break there, I guess. You spoilers, maestro. Listen, the point of TrampCast is to recount the successes, the failures, and the other significant happenings in my life as a tramp. Too much information, I know. I wondered about whether to say it or not, but fuck it, there it is. You get the whole story here on TrampCast. Any more you want to highlight? No, nothing like that. Let me just adjust myself. Hey babe, you coming over here? You coming, daddy? Let's show you her ladyship. You gotta have your traditions, folks. Here's Tina, battling the flies. Hey babe. You spill some of your water. You gotta be careful. Water's difficult to come by. It's okay. Tina go. Tina's okay. Oh, where are we? There's Tina. Here's back to me, and we'll have a quick catch up with chat, see what I've missed. Robert says pencil. You hear all these old war stories from the Second World War and stuff of old blokes. In fact, I heard a story once of blokes on a dinghy, a survival. What do you call them? When your ship goes down and you're on the like the rescue boats and what have you. And some blokes at sea for like 40 odd days, and they were at the point where when they were talking about digging it out with a stick, they weren't talking about the back end. They were talking about having the urine had so little water in it that they were having to dig it out with a stick from the front end. Yeah. Worked it out with a pencil. Yeah, okay. Mathematicians have a lot of fun. They do it with models. That was one we statisticians used to say back in the government. Tim Timney says it's amazing how you persevere and live the good life. Yes, mate. Squat and drop in the trees. I have had to. I think I've told you this before. Those trees used to be a lot more alive, a lot more growth on them. I think they're totally dead now, some of them. And there's now not enough coverage. I've had to stand a carpet on end around to act as a screen to give me extra cover, because sometimes you got to go through the day, folks. You don't always get to dictate when you go. You hold it and hold it and hold it. Try and go first thing in the morning before it gets light, or hold on until it's gone dark. Sometimes you just don't get the choice. Such is life. Let's have a quick. So my phone call is from Poland. I'm fairly sure I don't know anybody from Poland. I can't see out of that. Okay, I'm back to where Karen said he looks better when I've done his hair. I think I'd read everything up to that point. Okay, I think I'm up to date. I'll just work back to the bottom and make sure I've got everything. Too much information. Yeah. What time does it go dark there? At the peak of summer, so like June the 21st, it was about 10 o'clock. At the minute, it's somewhere around 9:30, I think. I'm usually inside, to be honest, by then. But occasionally I'll sit out. But I'm not. Oh, yeah, I'm not clock watching. My watch strap keeps breaking. The plastic has done what plastic does in Spain. It has fallen apart and become, what was the word? Frangible. Every time I fix it, I put I reconnected it by putting 2 cable ties through and snipped them real tight, and then it went and broke next to it. And oh, the opposite strap broke. And when I fixed that, the first strap re-broke right next to where the first fix was. So I haven't bothered patching it again. I'll need to get a new strap at some point, but the battery's been in it over 2 years, so that probably needs replacing as well. It's probably, looking at it, it's probably a job for a jeweler or a watch shop to replace the straps and battery. I mean, the straps you could maybe just get on the market somewhere. I don't know. Maybe the what's it called? The hippie market in town, perhaps. But is there any point replacing the straps and not the battery if the battery could go at any time? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Hold on. I think I'll cancel my dinner, says Rob. What's that about? Is the path more busy at the weekend? Yeah, it is, yeah. Although once we hit August, it'll be busy all the time. Hey, Tina. Hey. He missed the joke. I did. Have I missed something? Oh, I haven't got time to be digging back too far. Karen says apparently squatting is the best way to poo. It is. It's the healthiest. It's the most. That's the way our body was. Well, design's not the right word. There wasn't a designer, but that's the way our body evolved. Do you have a tape measure? Asks Karen. I think I've got 2. One I had from a previous sewing kit, and one in a sewing kit that I believe you acquired on my behalf. You saw the latest video and thought nice crocodile clips and tarp. Yeah, my friend Steve was the provider of the crocodile clips, the big clips on the tent. They've held up surprisingly well. The first batch that we got from the Chino Bazaar had a tendency to fall apart and to come off and fly 3 or 4 meters away in strong winds. We had 60-kilometer-an-hour winds a couple of times, and I suspect that some gusts might have been more powerful than that. Now it's summer and a lot of the growth has died off. I'm starting to find the clips that flew off previously in the bushes and stuff. We found 3 the other morning. Me and Colleen when she brought the newspaper around. So yeah, they do a good job. These better ones that Steve brought from the UK. They're doing a good job. They're holding up much better than the than the ones from the Chino Bazaar. Hey babe, what are we struggling with? She's just scratching. I got to crack on, folks. We gotta get this done. A mansion of a tent. Oh, it's AI apparently, mate. It's AI. It's not here. Some guy claims that he came to the field and the tent was, there's nothing here. This is all just AI and I'm a scammer. Why are you wearing broken glasses? Asks the gate. Because yesterday we had a period of strong winds in the afternoon when I was wanting to do a TrampCast hangout, and a gent came and delivered me some food. I was out chatting with him, and when I went back into the tent, the door of the tent was flapping around and blowing, and the door from the bedroom was flapping around and blowing, and I wanted to get something out of the bedroom. So as I went to step up and onto the mattress, onto the bed to work, the fabric of the door and the fabric of the bedroom door grabbed my legs. I got tangled in it and I went over landed face first on my glasses. They were on my head like this, and I landed. My arms were caught in one of the lots of fabric, and as I went down, I couldn't get my arms down in front of me. I literally landed on my face and broke the arm off the glass and broke the frame in a couple of places. If I demonstrate it, I'll drop the lens. So I'm not going to wiggle it about too much. But yeah. So yeah. You didn't comment that there were lady glasses as well, though, eh? Okay, folks, I think Robert. Measure the width of your watch strap. Okay, I'll do that after. Where are we here? Bless you, Chief. I would have fallen over for you if I was there. Oh, thank you. Let's pick up, shall we? We just finished Thursday night, where my thighs are on fire after a bad poo. Okay, Friday. When I awake, Tina is outside and barking at dog walkers and passers-by. Dog walkers, joggers and passers-by. So this track, someone was asking, does it get busy? In the morning, it's quite the hive of activity. People out doing their morning exercise, a morning walk, walking dogs, jogging, all those kinds of things. And also someone at the bottom's having some work done, so we got builders in and out a little bit. But after the early morning rush, kind of by 9:30 or so, that's it. It becomes quite quiet. A little bit busier at the weekend, but it doesn't really go anywhere except there's a kind of a hill, kind of it's a cliff, but with a good slope. You can get down it okay, but it's not a good beach. It's all big rocks and boulders and pebbles. So it doesn't really go anywhere. You can go down and go right to the beach, or go down and go left to the cliff tops and around there. But people seem to like walking here just for the sport of it. But Tina's outside and she's barking at them all. And yeah. So I stop her, obviously, and I figure, hey, I'll take her for a morning walk. And we go longer than normal. For some reason, I think this is because Anthony brought me the breakfast sandwiches. I think I was all powered up on bacon, sausage, black pudding and white pudding, etc. So the next morning I'm all boosted. I'm carrying her like I do, carrying the back end, and the front end's walking, and we go a lot further than normal. We go right to the cliff top. Well, not the cliff tops around there, but the ones I was just talking about, where you can go down to the beach on the right. Well, I know that all along she's looking for grass. She's looking for nice, soft grass to chew on. and it's all like straw. It's not what she wants. Now, I know that when she's looking to eat grass, it means there's something missing from her diet. She's looking for something. So I'm going to have to try and vary her diet a little bit. I do put something different in, mix up her foods a little bit. I have got a little bit of wet food lying around in cans, and I've got different types of the dry stuff. So by mixing and matching, hopefully she'll get whatever she's deficient in and that she's looking for in the grass. But like I said, we went further than normal, and it was nice to see the sea for once, to actually stand there and be able to look down properly at the sea. I mean, from here you can see it on the horizon, but it was different to look down at the beach isn't the right word, but at the shoreline and see the actual sea, see the waves lapping at the edge. That was nice. I haven't done that in it feels like I haven't done that in ages. Okay. By 10:20 we've got the EcoFlow more or less fully charged. It's getting warm in the tent. Like I said, after 10 o'clock onwards it starts, you can really just feel it. You can feel the heat building. 10:30 I hear a beep from a passing car, which goes to the bottom of the road. It beeps as it comes past, turns around, comes back. That's a sure sign that that's my friend Anthony. When he's in the country and that happens. Stop growling, Tina. Stop growling. Stop growling. Stop. Stop it. Shh. Nice people. Leave the nice people alone. Oi. Leave the nice people alone. Okay, folks, where was I? Beep from passing car. It's Anthony. He's arriving. He's bringing me water and a cooked breakfast on a paper plate. This is what Anthony does. Another hot day. We sit out and chat for a little while, as we do when Anthony's around, and then he leaves and it's back into the tent, and it's just another hot day. I thought about sitting out. I thought about sitting outside here, kind of like this, but well, we'll get to it shortly. I think. Is that this week or not? No, it might not be. Sitting here, sitting over to that side a little bit with the parasol brings me attention from those from whom I don't want attention. Let's just leave it at that. We'll get there. I think we'll get there. I think it happens this week. Maybe not. Maybe that's next week. Okay, so this we're on Friday. So just a day. I thought about sitting out, stayed in the tent, quiet, hot, boring day, watching videos and just letting the day go by. Until we get to the evening. Friday evening, I will often, though not always, but often do a TrampCast hangout. Like last night, we did one. That was random. That was meant to be in the afternoon, but such is life. But the hangouts. So TrampCast proper is supposed to be Sunday, 5 p.m. Spanish, 4 p.m. UK, 11 a.m. Eastern in the US and Canada. But the TrampCast hangouts are meant to be more random. They do seem to have fallen into a pattern of Friday night and Sunday night, which is fine, as long as I add others around it, which is what I should do more of, probably. And I will. Varying times to catch various different groups and at different stages of their day, maybe. We shall try it. We shall try it and see. But we did TrampCast 20 and we had a little bit of controversy. Yeah, I'm not going to say much about it, but I'll leave it to you. It was TrampCast Hangout 20. If anybody wants to go and watch that, and it was fairly early on. It was in the first half hour or so, I think. There was a little falling out between a couple of people, and I was on kind of slightly more on one side than the other, I guess. But yeah, it was what it was, folks. It was what it was. A little bit of racism, maybe, possibly, allegedly. Watch for yourselves. Decide for yourselves. I'm not restating it here, but I said my piece in the video, and it is what it is. Not going to reignite the controversy here, but try to stay friends with both sides. Both parties are welcome here anytime, and yeah, not sure it's possible but we'll see. Anyway, oh, this is the one where I got stick about the state of my bed. I tend to put the camera on Tina, and obviously you can, and I'm lying on top of the bed, and obviously my feet end up on camera as well for those that are of a persuasion. I don't know, but I got stick about the state of my bed. But you got to know, you got to remember or realise that my bed only just fits in the tent. It's a double bed. There's about 3 inches space, and then there's a set of drawers, a chest of drawers inside. Not bad for a tent. But it means that there's no stepping off the side of the bed and walking out. I have to shuffle to the bottom of the bed to step off. And every time I do it, I'm dragging the quilts, you know, a few inches that way towards the bottom. And they end up kind of hanging off the bottom, and it all gets a bit of a mess. And I try and just drag them back up. But it's not like I'm getting up in the morning and making my bed. It's not like that. I'm not in bed, I'm on the bed, and I'm on the bed all day. So if you see my bed and you don't like the state of it, what can I do? Fuck you. So yeah, so that was late at night on Friday night into Saturday morning, folks. Saturday morning, very warm morning, very warm. Tina wakes me early, as she does. And because I've had the stick about my bed, and I've got to try and put the quilt back in the cover. The quilt cover is half off the quilt, and people were bitching about it. So I decided to take everything off, take all the covers and everything off, take the quilt out of its covers, bring everything outside, air it off in the sun, which I do, once a week anyway, typically. Well, I did it again because I got stick. So I spent half the day coming out here and turning quilts over and, you know, moving stuff around, airing off one side and then the other, and then folding stuff in half and manipulating and moving. So there you go. Now, later that day, a guy visits for the first time. I think he'd appeared in the chat on Friday night in the TrampCast Hangout and said, "Hey, where are you? I'd like to come and visit." So I told him where I was, and duly the next day he appears with beers, cold beers, and we sit and chat. We sit out in the sun. This also, while we're sitting out chatting, this is where Elias, a young man who was passing by, offered me a cold bottle of beer. This is the one where Tina was barking at him, and I thought it was somebody up to no good the other side of the bush. But I was mistaken. I was wrong. He was a nice guy, and offered me a cold beer. I'm guessing maybe what happens sometimes is people go and they'll have like a picnic on the cliffs looking down at the beach, or maybe they go on the beach. But on the way back, if they've got something left, they'll sometimes stop off and you know, give me something. So yeah, that was all good. So thank you to Sean for the beers and for the visit. He's been again since. And thank you to Elias, who was just passing and offered me a beer. Thank you both very much. What's going on here? Okay, this is the one. Okay, that evening I fell asleep in the tent on my bed. Woke up at 10:30 Saturday. I've not brought my lights and things in. Everything's still outside. My solar powered lights are outside, glowing away, twinkling away in the dark, visible from on the main road. I don't know. But also, Big Clive starts at 10 o'clock. And it's 10:30 before I wake up. I've got jobs to do, to bring things in, to get certain things ready, do certain things. So I'm late. I'm late to Big Clive. I'm late to Big Clive. And after Big Clive, Scruff Dog. Okay, that's Saturday night, folks. We'll take a break there. I'll have a quick... I don't think there's any water left in that, is there? Oh, a little bit. I'll take a drink of water, have a swig of beer, and then catch up with chat, see how far behind I am. And then we'll draw this to a close. We'll do Sunday and wrap things up. Quick sugar beer. It's cooled down now. It was hot, this beer, when it first came out. Can't quite see the bin from here, can I? I'll get that after. Okay, folks, where are we? The clips that fly off. Bless you, Chief. Yeah, okay. Route undetermined, undefined. Sorry to ask, but can't you go home to Britain? No. TrampCast 001 for the full story. The potted version is, my bank have... I'm not going to say stolen my money, but my bank has declared my account dormant, deactivated it, and taken the money. So money's one issue. Another issue is I've had a legal case hanging over me here. Really stupid, ridiculous little incident that the police here overreacted to, went hands-on and got violent, arrested me, and then claimed that I'd punched him so hard that I bruised his chest. Didn't punch anybody, didn't get a chance to punch anybody, but he claims I bruised his chest. Guy was wearing a bulletproof vest. Do I look like fucking Mike Tyson? The guy was wearing either a stab vest or a bulletproof vest. I don't, you know, you can tell the difference. No punches were thrown, but I was charged with resisting arrest and assaulting a police officer. Whatever I was arrested for was never stated anywhere on any paperwork. There shouldn't have been an arrest. Basically, I'm stood outside a pub. I've been thrown out of a pub. My dog was tied up in an enclosed terrace. And so after I've been thrown out, I want my dog. The staff won't talk to me, and I'm standing, and the police arrive, and I'm thinking, oh good, I can tell them my dog's inside the enclosed terrace. You know, they'll get the staff to get my dog, and I'll go home, and no, the cop walks up to me, waves handcuffs in my face. I say that's not necessary. He gets his baton and waves it twice above my head. I go like that. They put that in the paperwork as adopted an aggressive boxing stance. My hands are above my head because he looks like he's gonna hit my head. 2 whacks to the arm, 2 to the leg, rugby tackled from behind. It's over. No punches thrown. 5 years ago, this was November of 2019. This was before COVID. And if I try and go to the airport, they tell me that there's a warrant for my arrest because I've missed a court date. They never bring me a court date. They know exactly where I am. They don't bring me the paperwork to say that there's a court date, but they'll come here and arrest me for not attending court. And this has been hanging over me for 5 years. And yeah, so can't go home because of police and courts. Banks got my money, so going home isn't that easy. Full story, TrampCast 001, the very first time I went live, it's all explained in there. 5 p.m. GMT TrampCast. I don't think that's right, is it? Or is that a request? I'm lost on my times because Spain is... We're 2 hours ahead of GMT, aren't we? 1 hour ahead of British summertime. Don't know. Oh, some people lost sound. How did that happen? I've never seen your bed. I thought you were upside down on the crossbeam. Okay. A stranger with cold beer, a wandering soul. Yeah, it's nice when it happens. It's nice that it, yeah. Sean, expat in Mazaran. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, mate. Mazaron. Yeah, it's supposed to be celebrating that as well, aren't I? Yeah, 1500. At the rate it's going, it'll soon be 1600. I'm not sure quite what happened. Well, I am. So Barry from Scottish Couple in Spain interviewed, I guess is the word, did a story on me, and we got an initial bump, and after 3 or 4 days it died down, and I thought it was over, and then things kicked off again. And what I think it was, I think it was the Daily Mail stealing their content. I think the Daily Mail the Daily Mail took comments out of a video and made it look like they'd interviewed Barry, which is slightly offensive, really. Bad journalism, at least. But I think they embedded the video on the page, and I think when they embed the video, you still get a chance to click through and go to see the video properly on YouTube. And I think people watched the video, and then when it finished, it will show other recent videos of theirs. And I think I maybe got featured, and so what, people watch one video and then look at the other ones available, and I think people saw my story, and I got a second boost. There's a second, much larger boost. So after the initial 4 or 5 days died off, you know, the new subscribers, then I got a lot more. But as we've seen today, folks, along with the extra attention and the new subscribers comes some negativity. You get the people who want to come along and have a pop and have a go, as we've seen. What I've banned 2 so far today. I think that's more than I've banned in the entire history of the channel. But that's it. You get the attention, you get the good that comes with it, the extra, the new subscribers, but also the negativity of some people. And as I said last night, you also get the people who ask like the basic questions that can be a bit time consuming and a bit wearing after a while, answering the same questions time and time again. Which is why I direct everybody to TrampCast 001. Eastmo says COVID 2020 March in Spain. It was, mate, it was. Yeah. It wasn't a great time, was it? It wasn't a great time. Timony. Wimbledon's men's final right now. People will be leaving to go watch that then, yeah? Yeah, I mean, politics aside, taking somebody's video and taking quotes out of it and referencing them in such a way as to make it look like you've interviewed them specifically for the story, that's trash. That's trash journalism, that. Anyway, folks, okay, let's pick it up. We've only got Sunday to do. My Sundays are generally very samey, but this one was very, very different. Very, very different. So my normal Sunday, obviously you've got the dog. As this one, I'll start off. So I walked Tina 3 a.m. after Scruff Dog's video finished, after Scruff Dog's live stream finished. Walked my doggy and got back in the tent, went to sleep. Woke at 6:30. Walked my girl again and you know, did her ablutions. My EcoFlow's down to 30% for some reason. I must have fallen asleep with the fan on, I'm not exactly sure. But at 30%, it's set to cut off to preserve power. So that I've got enough left to charge phones or do whatever needs doing. At 10 a.m. I start writing my notes. As you know, all week long I keep the notes on the phone. I just tippy tappy type them into a text editor, and then because you can't access a separate app while live, I have to write them out. I have to transcribe them. That's the word I was looking for. I was about to say transpose and I caught myself. That was the wrong word. Transcribe them. Write them out onto paper. Move them onto paper. So there I am. I'm starting writing my notes. I'm starting really early. And the EcoFlow gets up to 80%, despite the fact I've got the fan on. It's a baking hot morning again. And then, roughly 12 o'clock-ish, there's a pip of a car comes past, pips horn, goes to the bottom road, turns around, comes and parks. My friend Anthony bringing breakfast sandwiches again, and he's bringing me a 12-pack of beer as well. A 12-pack of I think cold beer, if I remember correctly. I think he'd put them in the freezer for a little while. Before he's got out of the car, another car arrives and says hello as he pulls past. And that was Barry from Scottish Couple in Spain. So he parks at the bottom of the road. We wait for him, he comes up, we come through, and before we're even sat down, Joby arrives, the English guy that used to live at the other side of the field. He arrives and parks his bike. Suddenly I'm looking round, have I got enough chairs? Give me a second. I'll show you this. I don't know whether you've seen one of these. I'd never seen one of these until I got here. This is my fourth chair for when we're stuck. Give me a second to put it up. Oh, I now have to wrangle with the brick and the parasol again. Oh! Oh, fuck. What am I standing in now? I don't know. I fell over. I slipped. Oh, unplug. And reverse. That's my fourth chair. The little diddy chair. It's about 6 inches off the ground. That's what I spent half the day sat in. While all these other folks were here. They all got the good chairs. Like a good host. Like a good host, you give your guests the best chairs. And you make do with the little diddy chair. But all totally unplanned. No notification from anybody beforehand that they were coming. And for 3 independent parties to all arrive within 2 minutes of each other on a Sunday when I'm supposed to be writing up my notes. So this, folks, is the reason TrampCast didn't happen that day. Hold on, what's Ismo? Ismo got an 8-pack of beer, €15. Torrevieja, you'd get 12 for 3. You still get them for 3.60 in some places, I think. Yeah. Beer in Finland is expensive, apparently. The whole of Scandinavia, isn't it? Whether you include Finland in Scandinavia or not, there's a question. The Wandering Joby, indeed. Yeah, he went on his what do they call it? Camino, the pilgrimage, kind of thing. I mean, he's not religious. He was just wandering. Yeah. A good host giving up his chairs. That's me, mate. That's me, mate. Yeah. But so Anthony stayed for maybe a couple of hours. Like I said, he brought in silver foil. He'd brought 4 breakfast sandwiches. The full bacon, egg, sausage, black pudding, white pudding. Fantastic sausages. I didn't get to eat them until about 8 o'clock at night. I had the first half of them, and I had the second half the next morning for breakfast. So Anthony was here for a little while. Barry stayed, and I think after Anthony left, he did his we did the little piece to camera, and then he left shortly after, maybe another half hour after that. Barry brought me a litre bottle of cold beer as well. Even though I think it was when he arrived, it might not have been 12. It might have still been, I don't know, 11 or half 11. A little bit early, really. But when it's cold, you know, I can't let the cool go to waste. When you live in a sauna, you know what I mean? You got to take the cool where you can get it. So in the end, Barry left, and Joby stayed, and we had a good long chat. But that meant I didn't get to finish the notes. I didn't get everything fully prepared. I was 9/10 of the way there, apparently. I found out today when I look back. I don't think I knew that at the time. And what do I say now? When the video came out the next day, and I got all that extra attention, I guess, the positive and the negative. So I'd missed one Trampcast, and then I was hanging out on Barry's site, Barry and Karen's site, Scottish couple in Spain, on their channel on YouTube, and I was answering questions as best I could, and just trying to, where someone got totally the wrong idea, just try and nudge them in the right direction. Thanking the people who wished me well, and you know, and when people asked complicated questions, try and direct them to TrampCast 001. But I tried to deal with the negativity. There's one guy calling me an outright liar and saying it didn't make sense and it's not possible and banks can't do that. And it's like, yeah, I agree, the banks shouldn't be able to do that, but they do. Under the rules, it's called knowing your customer. They have to know who they're dealing with to stop money laundering. And when an account hasn't been touched in a while, especially an account that has charges on it, annual charges, if you haven't touched it for a while, they declare it dormant and close it or snaffle it, take the money. It was my rainy day fund. So I had my normal bank, which was Barclays, my everyday normal bank, but after COVID and everything, that ran out. So I eventually wanted my rainy day fund. I needed my you know, my secret stash of cash. And when I went for it, it wasn't there. And everyone's telling me how that's not possible, it doesn't make sense, it doesn't, well, it's only 30 quid, jump on a plane, come home, and they don't know the full story, that there's the court case thing hanging over me. And just dealing with that negativity put me on a bit more of a downer. And so the week after, I didn't feel like doing the next Trampcast. I just wasn't in the fucking mood, so I just didn't fucking do it. End of. And so that's why we're 2 Trampcasts behind, folks. That's why we're 2 behind. Now, for the upcoming week, what to do about it? What do we do? How do we get back on track? I figure at some point in the week I will do a Trampcast for the missing week, and I've got to fit 2 in, haven't I? If I can get 2 in during the week. And then next Sunday we'll be talking about the week we've just had. That'll mean doing 3 TrampCasts within 3 proper TrampCasts within 1 week. That sounds like it would be pushing it a bit. Bearing in mind, I have to write out my notes in a hot, sweaty tent, trying not to smear the ink as my arm is all wet through with sweat, trying not to smear the ink around. It's a bit of a battle at times. Trying to put a paper towel under your arm, and then trying not to lose the pens in the bloody bedroom, or directly in the bed in some cases. We shall try and catch up. I can't really make promises on when it will be. In an ideal world, it would be something like Tuesday and Thursday, and then we'd be on track to do TrampCast proper on Sunday. But bearing in mind that there'd probably be a hangout on Friday. Does anybody fancy a TrampCast hangout tonight? I don't know how I feel about that, but it's it is the usual. I know I think I missed last weekend, but that is the usual pattern. Fridays and Sundays, and any other time I feel like it. I'll have a quick look in chat. Okay, there was Isma's comment. I'm going to go at the bottom to see what people are saying now. In fact, I'm going to switch to top chat and then back to live chat to make sure I'm actually seeing everything. And then I'm gonna scroll back. Nobody's answering about whether they fancy a TrampCast hangout tonight. If nobody fancies it, then we won't bother. Anytime you come by is good. No, a TrampCast hangout, the unofficial, the less structured ones, the ones where I might throw in a bit of science or whatever's happening in the world. And Scotty 80, oh, these glasses, is that 808 or 809? I've got smeary horrible glasses because I have to keep handling them. I think it says 808. Yes, Mike, you do. You fancy a TrampCast tonight? Maybe slightly later than the one that we did yesterday. Maybe 10 o'clock my time. That'd be 9 o'clock UK. 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock UK. That'll be 4 p.m. US Eastern. I'll aim for 10 if we do it. I think we might. I'll aim for 10. I might have to adjust by half an hour here or there, if depending on circumstances. Well, we can think about that. We can do that. But let me scroll back then. If a couple of people want to do it, Martin can pop in and out. Okay. I'm going to scroll back to where Ismo was talking about. Okay, Wandering Joe, good host giving chairs. Does Joby take down his tent and set up his tent every day when in town? I don't think so. No, when he's here, when he's around here, he's got a camp that he stays at. I think he pitches and just leaves it up for the day. I think. Now, when he's traveling, he's going to pack and take it with him each day. But no, I think he likes to get situated and then toddle off on his bike. I couldn't see, the lady was waving at me, and I honestly, through these, well, they're reading glasses anyway, so distance is difficult, but I do have to keep pawing at them to keep the lenses in the frame. Let's see whether I need a minute to adjust. Can I read that without the glasses? I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. Give me a couple of minutes. I think I can, just about. Oh, I'm having a squint and struggle, aren't I? I look like a fool when I play this back. I haven't played last night's back yet. I was too busy this morning What was I watching? I'm not sure what I've watched. But for some reason I didn't watch last night's TrampCast back. How the hell it got to, was it 4.5 hours? How the hell it got that long? I don't know what to talk about. At the start, I sat there and I thought, I've got half a dozen very minor talking points to discuss. How I kept going as long as I did is beyond me. I mean, I know as soon as I start talking about the police, I'm going to go into rant mode. When I'm talking about the court, having a court case and forgetting to invite me after 5 fucking years. See, even now I go into rant mode just at the mere mention of it. When the cops rang me up 2.5 months after they've had the trial, they rang me up to tell me they were bringing me papers, and they asked, where are you? What country are you in? Spain. What town? Torrevieja. Well, where? I said, at the same place you arrested me at last time. What do you mean, where? I said, Cala de la Thora. Cove of the Vixen. Vixen's Cove. Cove of the Whore, if you want to go that way. Well, said, the big blue fucking tent opposite Repsol. And when they bring this paperwork that's already printed out, it's not like they were asking and then they were going to print it. It's on the paperwork in their hand that my address is the man in the big blue fucking tent opposite Repsol, Cala de la Thora. It's on the fucking paperwork. They've had a court case where they knew my address, knew my phone number, knew my email address. And after 5 years of waiting, they have the court case in absentia without me when I'm at the fucking address that's on the paperwork. I've done it again, haven't I? I can't talk about this without getting fucking... It is the most ridiculous. I'm getting fucking annoyed. I'm ready to hit somebody. The Spanish love their fucking bureaucracy. But unlike the Germans, who also love bureaucracy, the Spanish are no fucking good at it. No offence to any of my Spanish friends who are watching, but the state of some elements of your country are a fucking disgrace. Now, you can throw right back at me about the state of Britain, and I'm not going to argue. The state of democracy in Britain, from what I can tell from reading, it's only the news, but and from other people's comments. So I accept any criticism back. I'm not wanting to start a flame war about whose country's better or worse. I just don't understand how they had a court case and forgot to invite the guest of honour. Why were the police ringing to ask where I was when my address is on the fucking paperwork? I've since had 2 more visits from them. They're going to be regular visitors again now. Shiny new bobbies who are either brand new out of the factory or who have circled in and been moved in from other areas. And they're familiarising themselves with the area in their big, bright, shiny new cars. And every time they spot this tent in this field, they're going to come and say hello. Anyway, let's see whether I can read chat. Almost, but not quite. Does John be taking... Yeah, that's his tent question. No, it's not going to work. I think maybe if I did it for a month, if I wasn't online, if I was just using my eyes, I think the muscles would adapt again and start doing the job properly. It's almost there. I can almost read it without the glasses, just not quite. Finland is indeed very expensive. Ismo will confirm. Ismo Finlandia. Uvascula. The bank is No, they haven't deemed me stateless. They've just deemed me as not having used the account, and therefore it's dormant, and therefore, because it has annual fees on the account, they've closed it for my protection, so that they don't keep robbing fees. In case I'm dead, they don't want to be robbing. They don't want to be taking fees annually on an account that isn't getting used, is what they would say. And also, every now and again, you have to pop into your bank and prove your ID, or sometimes you do it without even realizing it. You go in and you're disputing a bill or something. You've got your gas bill or your electric bill, and you're saying, "What the fuck? What's this?" And they tap a button to say, "Yeah, we've seen proof of ID." So sometimes they're doing it silently without you even realizing that you've gone in about one thing, complaining about your direct debit or whatever, and they've just tapped a button to update the fact that yes, we've seen proof of ID and address and everything. It's just these laws about knowing your customer. Okay, it looks like people want me to do a TrampCast. Maybe Jack Attack will bring his jolly self as well. Yeah, I think he popped in yesterday briefly, but I think obviously Big Clive was. I broke one of my own rules about not going live at the same time as some of my friends when they've got regular slots. I don't really want to be going up against them. These people have helped promote me and helped, give me a shout out. So I don't want to be competing against them. But I'd aimed to go live yesterday at 4 in the afternoon. I'd postponed it to 6 because of the weather, the wind. I then postponed it to 9 again. I couldn't put it off to today because it was just a hangout. I couldn't do a hangout today because I need to be writing my notes up or preparing and getting ready for TrampCast proper. So yeah, there we go, folks. I think I'll go through the rest of chat, but do you get many ladies waving at you? I just told you I'm not the most confident of guys. I don't get a lot of action from the ladies. There are some that wave. There's some very pretty ladies walk by fairly regularly that kind of live down here, but they're not hobosexuals. They're not looking for a tramp, are they? They're not looking for a tramp. I've told you about the homosexuals, the guys who come here wanting sex. Unfortunately, I don't swing that way, despite the magnificent moustache. I don't swing that way. So I think I've lost count. Is it 5 now? I think it's 5 instances I've had of men just appearing outside the tent door, or shouting from the road, "Sexo, sexo." That one that I lumped him on the back of the head and give him a fucking kick. Fuck. Pulling his fucking pants. He wanted me to bum him right there and then. I'm like, fuck off, and then a kick in the back and kick him along the fucking path. What the fuck? I don't know. So you did read the papers now? I did not, Josie. I'm afraid I did not. Where are we? The papers are in Spanish. I can kind of read Spanish, but not to a level that you want to rely on with legal papers. Oh, Jack Attack's here. Read the fucking thing, scaredy cat. Yeah, one day. One day. One day soon. It's on the to-do list. Google Google Translate is good for what it is. but it's not. You don't want to be real. They won't let you do that here. If you go to a police station here, they won't let you do that. You have to have a proper translator. I think Google Translate with a camera is excellent, but especially, I mean, I remember years ago, like text to speech apps and things, and yeah, text to voice apps and stuff. Just text recognition used to be horrendous. It's a lot better, but we're talking about legal stuff. You really can't rely on them. You get one word wrong and you reverse the meaning of a sentence. You can't take that risk with legal stuff. Obviously I'll have a go at reading it. I'll get the gist of it. I'll use Google Translate myself, but you can't rely on that. But I'm absolutely certain that I've got an automatic right to appeal whatever they've come up with. The fact that I was at the address on file the whole time and they've had the trial without me, not allowing me to offer a defence, that's, no matter what timeline you're in, no matter what deadline they might think that they can set ordinarily for appealing and stuff, that'll all go out the window with an abuse of power of that magnitude. I'm literally at the address printed on the paperwork. How can they have a court case 3 fucking months ago and forget to invite me? The whole thing's a sham. 5 years of waiting. Arrested, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 times for non-attendance at court. Not once have they added any extra punishment or charges for not attending because they can't prove they've notified me of the fucking case. Sorry, I shouldn't swear. I try not to swear too much on these things, but oh, folks, something's just giving. Let me whip through the rest of. Oh, I'm at the end, I think. Mablethorpe. Wow, just around the corner from Cleethorpes. RAF Donnanook and all that. Do they still test me? Do they still do live fire tests, missiles and things? I'm gonna switch to top chat and back to live chat in case it's locked up on me and frozen on me. It has, look. It has. That Mablethorpe. Hold on. See, there's a whole load of messages that chat wasn't even showing me. Read the thing, scaredy cat. Okay, Google Translate. Well, here we are. I once saw a seal in Mablethorpe. They come right in. What would you call them? They're not swarms. When the tide comes in, see, yeah, you get a whole batch of them coming at once. And there's a landing craft beached somewhere, or what? I don't know if it's still there, but when they did practice, whoa, fuck. The parasol decided to take me out. The parasol just attacked me, folks. Fuck. Lamp again. No, not the lamp this time, farmer. No. Let me just... Mablethorpe, the seals in Mablethorpe. I was just saying that somewhere around Mablethorpe, from the Second World War, when they were practicing for invasions, there's a landing craft that crashed and went wrong. And all the mussels, the sea, the shellfish, are stuck to the damn thing. We filled a pan full one time and took them home and cooked them up. One day today. The seal took one look at Mablethorpe and fucked off. You should have given him a hyper wedgie and sent him packing. The gay guy, yeah. You're not wrong, Josie. I am getting worked up every time I talk about it. I'm not sure that reading the final result will stop that happening. The abusive process will still annoy me. The fact that they can hold a court case and not invite me when I'm at the exact same place that's on the paperwork. Tell them it was your twin brother. Yeah, I think the fingerprints that are on file will will contradict that. Mabel thought Lifeboat was practicing. Were they practicing to help the dinghy divers come ashore safely? Yeah, the parasol knocked the phone over. I caught the phone, but I changed apps and therefore I exited temporarily. I'm going back. The landing craft was it was in the 80s, early 80s, or 82 or 83 that we saw it. So it may well have been chopped up and taken away by now, but indeed, if I leave the country, they'll have it, and they would have every right to have the case in absentia if I was absent. The fact that I'm at the fucking address listed on the paperwork, and they just have an inability to get the paperwork to me and invite me to the court case, that's the part that I object to. I understand that people will run away from court cases and that the state will then have the case in absentia. I understand that, I appreciate that. But to have the case in absentia while I'm living at the address printed on the bloody paperwork seems like a stretch. Officially, the address does not exist. Well, they managed to find it when they've got a warrant, when they want to come and get me. Sometimes. But yeah, I agree. It's not technically. They'll deport you to Sieta, over in Africa, on the edge of Morocco, isn't it? Maybe the papers say it's delayed till. Yeah. Keep dreaming. Okay, folks. I think we're there. That was the week that was. This was TrampCast episode 75, covering the week ending Sunday, June the 29th, 2025. I am Delta Mike. The channel is down and out in Torrevieja. Until next time, folks. We'll do the traditional closing. If I can disconnect the bloody phone from the charger. We will do a TrampCast hangout tonight. For those that want it. 10 o'clock Spanish, 9 o'clock UK. No, she looked right at. I just waved at someone. She looked right at me, and when I waved, turned her head, as they do. Okay, folks. Oh, I tried to hit the button to switch cameras, and YouTube took the click as something else. Here we go. Tina Girl, from Tina, and from me, Delta Mike, out.